Yo, baby, yo. It's your favorite Five Club, aka B-Bond, aka the CEO of the Unacceptable Behavior Network. Yo, happy J5s to all the noobs out there. Wanted to take the time to come on here and just throw up a yo for all the noobs. Wanted to say thank you for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode, Minding My Own Black Business. We brought two noobs on that's out here doing it, achieving in every field of human endeavor. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, throw up a yo. If you see a noob, wish them happy J5. Love y'all. Stay blessed and see you at the end of the episode.
Talking about a Kappa. No, nah, don't make a sci-fi. No, Kappa Alpha Psi. Kappa till the day I die. A girl who once kissed a fella. Her eyes grew red with fire. She thought she was climbing the stairway to heaven, but it was a brother of a Kappa Alpha Psi. A girl used to talk to her cute daughter. She used to like to play with toys, but when she grew up and she needed a man, she had to get her a pretty boy. And talk about a Kappa. No, nah, don't make a sci-fi. No, Kappa Alpha Psi. Kappa till the day I die.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Seductive here. We back for another episode of In the Cut on the Unacceptable Behavior Network. Y'all know we've been doing this for a while now. I think this is our fifth time sitting down to record In the Cut, but you're only going to see 4 episodes. So this one will probably come out in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks or so. But essentially, Unacceptable Behavior Network, for everybody that hasn't been here before, it's a few shows on the network. You got the fellas where you see, Caress B Bond, the CEO of the network, and then Affliction B Money on the fellas as well, Vibe Queens, and a couple of other hosts of shows over there. So tune in, see what's going on, and follow us, subscribe, like, do all that good fun stuff. Support the Black community, Black excellence here. Today, we got a couple of brothers on from us. We know In the Cut. We talked about this before, so I'm just gonna rehash a little bit. The whole purpose of In the Cut, we got a couple of brothers from the fellas. We good noops, good brothers at Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and we like to bring on other brothers that are achieving in every field of human endeavor. So we have 2 brothers, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in a little bit, that are going to talk to us about their businesses, their entrepreneurship activities. That's pretty much what our topic is going to be today, and just seeing how brothers are achieving in different ways. And then so looking forward to hearing what they got to say. But actually, I'm just gonna stop right there. Let me go ahead and kick it over to, going in deference order to my rock, he on my ship, Kappa Ship Knockout, the main event. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, brother.
Good day, all. My name is Kef Raku, and I am the Chair and Chief Visionary Officer of Better Family Life Minnesota. Spring 2K6 Nuke. Blessed to be here and spread the good word about our achievement and endeavors.
Appreciate that, bro. The first time I met this brother, Kef, we were at McKendree University. Every single day, he lived across the hall, had the fro back then. We were sitting there listening to Pastor Troy. I think it was the Face Off album back then in 2004. Yeah, it would have been Face Off back then. It was good times. Listen to some angry music every day before we get in and take care of business, but all good times.
You got to say back then because he bald now. I let the jokes fly during the show, brother. Hey, Mr. Clean looking mug over here.
Okay. All right, that was a clean hit on the chin, brother. I'll be back.
So he coming back to it. So on the other bottom right hand of the screen, we got our brother Fufu, Richie, knowing this brother for a long minute right now. We was singing on the bus during summer track with the Dashers, saying we don't want to go eat McDonald's anymore. We want to rallies. So knowing this brother for a couple of decades now. So glad to have you on Parlay, and go ahead and introduce yourself to the folks.
Yo, man. I'm so happy to be here, man. Richie, Fufu, Big Brother F and A. I'm the owner of Box Out Stress. It's a counseling and boxing program here, and I'm just so glad to be on a show, honestly, that allows for true transparency and for us to just, man, just talk about some good old things, man. You guys don't understand, bro, but y'all was the first brothers, man, that allowed me to, search for the diamond, man. And so I appreciate you guys.
Definitely appreciate those sentiments. I'm glad to have everybody on here. Circling back to over to the Caress in the top left-hand corner. What you got going on, bro?
Let me unmute myself, man. I'm doing wonderful. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I can't complain. Glad to be on the show with my rock. You know what I mean? I ain't seen this bald head. Uh-oh.
Hey, man, leave bald head people alone now.
Right.
Leave them alone.
Yeah, I ain't seen him in a minute, so I definitely can't complain, man. It's been great, man. Can't wait to get this going.
Nice. Affliction, how you feeling, little brother?
Hey, man, truly blessed. This is the first time my dean is on here with me. So, and my AD, I've been rocking my AD on a few shows, the rest, but hey, that's my dean over there. And as Ju already stated, back in the day, Fu used to run summer track. So some good brothers on here. So I'm feeling
give me
good.
a hard pause real quick because I done lost my video. I don't know where y'all ninjas went.
Yeah, you still got video.
Y'all can see me, but I can't see y'all. Hold on.
Yeah, it's cool. We'll kick it back to you, B Money.
There we go. All right. Sorry, B.
So no, it's good. Do I need to start all the way over?
No, we'll start over. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Affliction, how you feeling, brother?
Oh man, I'm blessed. Glad to be able to be on here with some good brothers. My dean is on here. My AD I've been rocking with for a while on some shows, but also he say Fu running summer track. So I'm good, ready to put some good content on wax.
Perfect. All right, y'all know we always do. Kicking
Hold
off.
Dude, Mr. Seductive, sir. How
What's
are you
up?
doing, man? How you been?
Oh, okay. Man, you're right. Thank you, Ship. Thank you for having my back. I'm blessed and highly favored. It's good. I'm tired. I was in Mexico. Now I'm in Florida. I was in LA for a day. I'm on different time zones. My body don't know where it is, but my brain knows where's it at. I'm here with you, brothers, and we're gonna put some good content out. So I'm blessed. So
we had to get that out there, man.
I know.
Gotta ask
Exactly.
the hostess with the mostest how they doing, man.
Look, I know. I feel like all of us do that every single time we talk, and we forget to check in on ourselves. But it's good. That's why we got each other's back. But anyhow, today we're going to be talking about, I mentioned, business, entrepreneurship. You heard the brothers talk about it at the higher level of what their organizations are doing, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that later on. But first thing I want to start off with, and Kef, I hit you with it. Actually, before I go there, I'm just going to run through the different topics. So really, we talk about every community, but we're talking about Noops. We in the cut. So we're really going to focus on the Black community right now for this episode. And then so we're going to talk about business relationships in the Black community, what's held us back, what's helped us strive, the people in the community that's give us that motivation. We're going to touch on a lot of those different topics and see how these brothers excel through that to get to the point they're on their day, where they are right now in this day and age. And then also just kind of dive it into once you kind of have that mindset of that you want to go do something, what's going to be those inhibiting those factors that are going to help you thrive or hold you back. So we're going to dive into all different facets of that today and let everybody kind of touch on it. Y'all know I'm a businessman, but I'm not an entrepreneur. So really, I'm going to just want to hear all the knowledge and the wisdom these brothers want to talk, and anybody else that want to dive in. I know Brother Caress over there, has a lot of things going on, even with the Unacceptable Behavior Network, shirt business, and you guys have seen the merchandise. We're not wearing it today, but it's a lot of different achievement in that entrepreneurship realm that you see these brothers here. So we're going to dive in that. First, Kev, we're going to hit the high level first, bro. What's your view on just the state of the business community in black community, Black America? How's business looking, entrepreneurship? Just what is your view of that right now?
Yeah, I think that the entrepreneurial spirit is high, but business, that's a whole nother ball game. It's very easy to start, your hustles and your side gigs and things of that nature. But when you talk about business, that's the strong organizing of your efforts. And I think that's an opportunity zone for our community, right? To really focus on the critical inch of how to take our businesses to the next level. And I think also us focusing on critical industries and verticals as well. I mean, if I walk past another motherfucking barber shop or a rib shop. You know, like there's things that are going to move our people collectively forward. There are certain industries that are extremely essential to us, and I think that more representation needs to be seen in those areas. But I'm glad that the entrepreneurial spirit is there nonetheless.
No, that I like that segment of the business versus the entrepreneurship. So I do think there is a breakout in those different pieces. Hey, but I think if there's a franchise of barbershops that go globally, that could be a good situation though of really rising is
We
there.
have enough barbershops, brother. Thank you.
I mean, y'all ain't got no hair. Why y'all talking about barbershop?
Hey, we don't need the barbershop.
All right. At least got beards.
Really?
are you-
Really? I'm trying to get there, man.
There you go. You one day. Richie, brother, what's your thoughts on the community right now? How's it looking for Black businesses?
Man, I honestly think that the pandemic has birthed just a sense of, how could I say this? A sense of assertiveness, you know what I'm saying, for the Black community. Because in the past, man, I haven't seen so many Black businesses before the pandemic, and I've seen it a long time, man. So I think it birthed a sense of assertiveness, and people are starting to see that, you know what, I have a gift, I have a talent, and I want to put that out into the world. And so I think that's what happened. I think the pandemic, has instilled that into the Black community. So I'm proud to see that, because hey, my business is a pandemic baby. So and I think the pandemic helped me push myself over that hump of the entrepreneur journey, because I wasn't even planning on it, right? But I saw a need that needed to be fulfilled, and I acted upon it.
Nice.
I just wanted to add to that. I think also something that's been a sentiment in our community is the fatigue and disgust that we have when it comes to workplace discrimination and things of that nature. I think that's a huge catalyst for inspiring people to grab the mantle of entrepreneur and venture on their own and try and find their own way, right? And be self-sufficient.
Yep. No, that's a good point. And even just knowing what's the cause of where we are in the state right now, and affliction hopping up to you, it kind of hit on a little bit of both of those. You know, what do you think the state of the community is right now, and what do you think the cause of why it is? Whatever your thoughts are, what it stems from.
I mean, I'm not an entrepreneur myself, but with that being said, I will say I have seen more Black-owned businesses out there. And with that being said, I'm actually just recently moved to DC not too long ago. So I actually been, introduced or have the access to a lot more, which actually said makes me happy to be able to see that. And I kind of hate that a lot of the times what is shown on TV is negative things, but the true reality of it is people are out here trying to get better. They are out here trying to establish, not just wealth, just overall. So my wife, she has her own business, but like say, as Brother Kev actually spoke on, saying that, hey, there's a difference between just being an entrepreneur and business. Even though I don't have my own business, I've actually seen that side of it as far as being able to make it thrive. How are you going about it? What is your organization? So, it's inspiring to see that. And I think we're in a good spot, but like I say, there is a lot of opportunity for growth that I see, even just in the professionalism of some things, as far as how people handle being able to respond to customers or respond to, people who are coming in, asking those questions and making sure that we are showing ourselves, as we say, Black excellence, but just excellence in general, just continuing to show that and showing that we are capable to, if there's an issue, to respond and handle people's matters, effectively and efficiently.
Caress. I want to get your thoughts on, a little bit of everything everybody else has said, but do you think that has improved, declined, or been stagnant over the past few decades that you've been around, and just from what you've even heard on, as a historian?
I think it's definitely improved, and I'll say that because, as Fufu intimated, my business, my shirt business is somewhat of a pandemic baby as well. I think. Now, I still technically work for the man as well, but this is something that I've been able to birth um, with little or no money into it, and it's grown into something pretty spectacular. So I think it's definitely improved. When I look at Black-owned businesses, I think culturally speaking, though individuals have built their businesses off of our backs for so long, and we've always thought that we couldn't do it without the assistance of others. I'll say it like that. And in the last probably 5 to 10 years, you've seen more and more Black-owned businesses popping up without that type of assistance. So I think it's a great thing. I think we're learning. I think it's going to continually evolve. I think it's something that that as a community, we have everything that we need in house, man, and we don't need to go outside for it. So it's definitely a blessing to see different types of businesses and different things that we're able to bring to the table and that we have full ownership in. So
Facts.
Yep. You said something good on the community. The community, we have everything in house, but we really don't have to go outside. We know sometimes that resources force people to go outside, but we also know that people are starting things without those resources. But I think that knowledge that we always try to make sure we pass amongst our community, not harboring it, holding it back, bringing other brothers up when we get somewhere, and just being humble, being able to reach out, being willing to reach out. And that's one thing I want to kind of dive into next is like you brothers, when you started some of your business, who did you reach out to? Were there other people inside the community, or did you go to a wide range of different folks to actually get that knowledge, resources, whatever that looked like for you to be able to use it as a platform to get what you have today? Start with you, B.
I think personally, I think that's one of the hardships that we have when starting our businesses. We don't know where to go. I think for me personally, one of the hardest lessons, doing the LLC thing and trying to figure that out and navigate that and making sure that I had all the paperwork and things of that nature. That was a headache all in itself. And for me, I think culturally speaking, we might start these businesses and we do these types of things and we don't necessarily do them the correct way. And it comes back to bite us in the butt later on. And that's where that assistance. So I think school-wise and things of that nature, we're not taught how to do that type of stuff. We're taught how to work for others, not to necessarily work for ourselves. And that's something that needs to be pushed throughout our community. There should be some sort of classes or Zooms or things of that nature. You want to start a business, I'm going to show you how to do that. So.
Yeah. Rich, you got some thoughts on that?
Yeah, just to piggyback on B-Bond, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I think honestly, we never stop working for others. I mean, even in our entrepreneur, we're still working for people, right? We have a service that we're trying to provide, and that means that we are working to for those that need our service. So I'm okay with being a servant. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with being a servant within my community so that I can start to bring healing in that. And I'm fortunate enough, as it relates to the resources, who did I have to who did I have to contact, and who, who helped me on this journey? I'm fortunate enough for 2 programs right now, Porterhouse KC here and Gift. These are financial providers, right? Assistance for like startup programs for Black-owned businesses. And these people have truly, just assisted me in this journey. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how to navigate, right, the system in a sense, the financial system. And so these people say, you know what, we believe in your program and we want you to be a part of our cohort. So when you have strong Black leaders in your community, that's when you can truly start to thrive, especially when they see the need that you have and they want to make sure that you continue to flourish.
Nice. I like that. Using those resources.
Facts. Got to.
Yep.
We learned that online.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get to that piece. We want to see how it all flows in. Kev, what you got on your mind over there, brother?
For myself, I was blessed to have family members that were entrepreneurial and were able to set off and do endeavors. But one thing that I learned from them, actually 2 things that I have used as guiding posts or boundaries for myself are: 1, seek out counsel, which is a biblical principle. whenever you seek out and you're planning out a campaign. And to me, business is war. So whenever you're planning a campaign, making sure that you have right counsel around you that can help you with the blind spots and the dark spots or the unknown spaces. That's the first thing. And then two, quite honestly, the biggest teacher for me has been failure, right? There's nothing better than a loss. So many lessons that can be learned in a loss. It's really easy to win and put a smile on your face, but to take an L, keep going, and reiterate is really the core essence of entrepreneurship. There's going to be more losses than wins.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's spot on. And I know it helps. Did you feel a little bit more confident having those resources, knowing that you can have people that you can go to, talking to your family members?
I mean, yeah, no, because I mean, the work is still on my shoulders. I mean, you can get a whole bunch of information, but the application is still on my volition. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can do anything about that. But it is comforting to be able to vent a little bit, and sometimes they'll put the boot in your pants, and to make quit your complaining and get your ass going.
Exactly. No, and I appreciate the fact that you actually were transparent and actually said that it was there, but that doesn't mean that it made it any easier for you. There's a lot of people out there in different communities where like, oh, that was handed to them. They have it easy. Like you still got to put that work in. Even if you benefit from some level of nepotism or something of that nature, you still got to put the work in to actually thrive and especially have a sustained business.
Yeah.
And I'm going to piggyback on what you just said there, Ship, because that's one of the biggest hardships, I want to say. Like, you see these types of businesses come out there, and just based off of a name, like, I'm not trying to poo-poo on anybody or anything like that, but let's just throw like Kylie Jenner out there, right? Like, whatever she has, yeah, it's $1 billion business now, but it almost started as $1 billion business because of her name and who she had helping her on the back end. Someone like, I don't want to bring up, he's too toxic right now. But
bring his ass up. Get toxic.
He's a little too toxic right now. But I want to say like 50 Cent and things of that nature, who you saw him build his empire. And at the same time, my question to him would be like, what are you doing to help those around you to build their empires too? Like, did you get to the mountaintop and then just say, this is my ball, I'm running with it? But as small businesses, like having that backing or that financial backing, I can say it from the network's perspective, trying to get our foot in the door at the Revolts or the, on news networks or radio shows and things of that nature. Trying to get that financial backing, because what you provide, it's great and that it does a lot for the community, but not everybody gets to hear it, and that's the unfortunate part. So that's my question. How do we as small businesses get out there and provide and show what we're providing to be worth people diving into?
I think it's just incremental, man. I think too often we get titillated by the shiny object syndrome and fame and things of that nature, and want to flex and make sure our businesses gets to such a point that we do want to stunt and flex. Really, it's about, as Richie just said, it's about being a servant leader, and it's incremental. The success is incremental. We be wanting to make that big splash so soon, and unfortunately, the entrepreneurial journey is not that. You will make incremental steps. And I think that those are the best steps to take, because you focus more on mastery than money, right? Because entrepreneurship at the end of the day, even though, yes, money is part of the exchange for the services, it's really about the mastery of your craft and how you master the needs of your clients and your customers and things of that nature. The bag is subsequent to those focuses.
Comatose, can I piggyback a little bit?
Man, I'm getting sick of y'all getting on my back, man.
No,
Go ahead. I'm playing.
Look, you can hold it down. That's what you said for Rock. Go ahead, Rich.
I was rocking my line too, so Rock's gonna always do that. So, Comatose, look, like I love the fact that you speak towards mastery, right? And you also speak a little bit towards failure. I'm a firm believer, man, that failure is, especially for the Black community, man, we need to look at it as the first attempt in learning. You know what I'm saying? Not everything that we do is going to be perfect. but understand that that can just be your first attempt in learning something different, mastering, honing in on that, so that you can be the best product in the community that you're serving. But let's start changing the narrative of how we view our defeats, in a sense, right? And I think we'll be a lot better, you know what I'm saying, as people, as a community in general.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's something that we can do as a people, right? Because even when you look at our history as a people, rather than looking at slavery as some type of major L in terms of loss, look at it as a lesson. Just study it, study the hell out of it.
Yep, no, I agree. Affliction, you mentioned that your spouse has her business and everything. Being someone that supports that, even though it's not something you run, do you feel a level of ownership that you can help in that assistance, or just what are some things you've seen as I'll call it a bystander, even though I know sometimes you can be in the trenches, but what are some things you've seen from your viewpoint?
I think from my viewpoint is number one is the fear of failure. That is one thing that holds a lot of us back. And the other thing is exposure, and when I say exposure, I mean what we expose ourselves to. There's a lot of times that I see we don't feel like we're good enough to be at this table, or we may not be smart enough, or this person is this, far forward. Or, I mean, again, we're talking about like the Black community, but, sometimes you got to go to other communities to see how are they moving, study them too, to be able to, but you got, well, I don't want to do it because they don't understand me, or they don't, but it's not about a you versus them thing. It's business, or it's whatever, like I said, you're trying to grow in, and exposing yourself, going to certain places to even see the availability of different markets, that, okay, these people have a need and I can provide that need, and being open to allowing yourself to understand how that moves. And then of course, as it was stated earlier, the mastery of it, how can I do this that not only just Black people gonna want to buy this, but white people gonna want to buy it, Asians, Indians. We look at being realistic, and I've seen this come up so many times is, Black women go get their nails and their toes done from, the Asian community. What does the Asian community get from Black people, or those type of things? And again, that's just one example, but what are we exposing ourselves to be able to be like, okay, well, I can do nails. You think like you got barbershops and hair salons. So, if it's you being beautified, why can't you put nails, you learn how to do nails, and put that in your salon, do like the whole shebang, come in and walk out. But I think a lot of times and I say for both of us, being the innocent being the bystander, but also being involved, has been that fear of exposing yourself to those things and being told that you're not good enough. And even in that, being told that you're not good enough may feel like a failure, but as has already been stated, it actually can be a lesson, because they're going to 9 out of 10 times point out what they say you're not good enough in, and you can learn and build on that.
I think sometimes that a lot of people feel like they're being told that they're not good enough, and they're self-eliminating because they reached a barrier in the road sometimes. And that's something that we see in the community. And it was just mentioned a little bit, learning from slavery, learning from a lot of those things. Certain things were put in our mindsets to hold us down. And sometimes we have to realize, even though we may not be experiencing that, even though people like to say modern day slavery, you can't compare what our ancestors dealt with, what we're dealing with today. I'm sorry, I'm going to push back every single time there. But where are you being enslaved in your own mind to keep on pushing? Failure is going to happen to everybody, regardless of what path you're on, as all these brothers have already mentioned. But are you failing yourself by not just pushing past those envelopes that you've actually brought yourself into? But that's one of those things. I appreciate y'all comments on that. Kind of diving into some of the things that you all do in your businesses, and you've kind of touched on a little bit throughout this process, throughout this conversation. Richie, you had boxing out stress. There's a lot of different elements of your organization that you set on the path to do that. Is that something, can you talk to us about that a little bit? Just like the purpose, the vision you had of what got you started.
Oh, I was muted. Yes, my journey started, man, as an educator. I worked for the Kansas City Public School District as the teacher retention coach. But previously, I was a school counselor when this journey started. So I saw a need that to allow kids, man, that were just like me. If any, y'all knew how I was when I was a little knucklehead, man. I was just out in the streets, man, doing whatever. And I knew boxing was always a part of my life, and I knew counseling was my passion as well. So I decided to marry counseling and boxing together to bring that healing into that school that I was at, which is Wheatley Elementary School. But what I seen, man, within the conception and the launching of the program was that, man, 80%. I mean, the office visits were decreased by 80% for those kids that was at those frequent flyer kids, those kids that was deemed the problem kids, right? So I just implemented myself and, you know what I'm saying, to the process and realized that these kids was just like me as a little kid. What did I need? And boxing was it. But long story short, man, I saw that need. I wanted to fix it. So that was the conception of Box Out, man. So where we talk out our stress and then we box it out, right? So giving them kids an outlet, I think, was very important. It quickly turned into something great, you know what I'm saying? And now the teachers wanted to be a part of it, right? So now I'm like, man, I'm dealing with kids, but that wasn't bad for me as well because I got my master's in rehabilitation counseling. So I was like, okay, I'm used to dealing with adults as well. I'm used to creating programs for adults to achieve at their highest potential as well. So I did that. The school system started to back me up with the program. I realized that, you know, the program had to act along. I didn't want to have, you know, it solely be a district thing. And I felt like healing needed to take place and throughout the community. So I started to put on programs such as Bourbon and Boxing for brothers to come out to this affinity space for brothers to come out and really unpack. I call it the Unpack series. Brothers come out, they unpack the issues and the stressors that they experience on a daily basis and don't have the opportunity to. No, we're not drinking bourbon and boxing at the same time. We understand how it can be. But we do have a fine flight. You know, I do provide brothers with a flight of bourbon because we understand that, man, once you get that little hit, man, you be like, man, all right, man, I can open up now, right?
Right.
So we do that. And then we have a program for women called Boxing and Mimosas, right? The same concept, giving women an opportunity to work out some stressors in their lives.
Now that's cool, man. And that's good to hear that. And like you said, we've known each other for a while. So I know how Lil Fufu was back in the day, and just seeing, you know, the maturity in which you speak out, you're driven to actually what you're working on and really reaching out people in the community. And that's one of the biggest things I know a lot of us, that's like the foundation, is like paying it forward and really helping others out and bringing others up as we go. Because that's one thing NOB Bond hit on earlier that we don't do in our community a lot of the times is actually bring others up and actually help them out. But before I pivot over to Comatose, I want to ask you, and I know you mentioned that you had resources and people that actually wanted to help you along this journey, but do you feel that being a Black male limited you at any point in time on your journey?
This still to me?
Yeah.
Hold on. My phone tripping. Am I looking like I'm switching from side to straight?
Nah, you good, bro.
No,
All
yeah,
right,
you
cool.
good.
All right. At any point, I'm gonna speak back to what Affliction said, right? That sometimes when we don't see it within ourselves, can sometimes be a hindrance, right? So those insecurities that we carry over into business, you know, like, oh man, am I good enough? Can I do this? I think those were the hurdles, right? Because especially coming from a failing education system, you know what I'm saying? Like, those were the hurdles, or coming from a drug-infested environment, coming, you know, from trauma, you know, things of that nature. Those are the things that hindered me, or in a sense, in that process, started to make me doubt myself. And so when I started to say, you know what, I got this, and I stopped looking at failure as failing and start looking at it as the first attempt at learning, man, I became rejuvenated, and I started about what the hell everybody else said, and I just started living my truth.
No, that's real. That's real. Kev, you got some thoughts?
Yeah, I bet you them sisters getting real live after that boxing and mimosas. Sound like time. Fine. Good service. Thank you, brother, for your service. Thank you. Very
Gotta
thankful.
be there to see it.
Yeah. Yes. No, I think just piggybacking off of Brother Richie's response about being a black male and whether that has been a hindrance or an advantage. And for myself, I find it as an advantage. Both the culture that I come out of, the upbringing that I come out of, both the positive and the negatives, and trust me, it's been more negatives than positives. I think they all have lent to two things. The first being identification of purpose, which is extremely important as a man in these streets. You have to have a sense of purpose because it will be your compass, right? Not only when you are flying high, but when you're in times of doubt and uncertainty. And I think the second thing is just flavor, man. There's just a way that we see the world that the world doesn't see itself. You know what I mean? So it's been an advantage in that way. I try not to, I mean, I would say there might be drawbacks. I mean, I'm a big black man, so it's always with that. But I do my best to.
Well, we can't have you in there in the bourbon and the flights, right?
No, we'll be all right. I'm a friendly guy.
There we go.
And at times it has been a hindrance being a bigger black man, a la the moment we had at 12:15. Right, I think y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Yeah.
And then other times it's been an advantage, man, because there's a sense of certainty and security in my presence. So, you got to use those things as an advantage.
Exactly. No, I like what you said about the using our culture essentially as an advantage. And everyone will talk about cultural misappropriation and people stealing from us, but then don't use that as empowerment when it's time to actually go put in the work.
Yeah, culture is a weapon, man.
Yep, 100%. And there's always going to be some beef for us.
Destruction. It could be good and it could be bad. Ask Kanye West.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weapon nonetheless. That's all I'm saying is look at the value of culture. It is to be wielded. You know what I'm saying? Not just succumb to it. It's just like a pistol, man. Whoever's hands it is and whatever reason they're using it is the outcome of that tool. But it's a tool nonetheless.
Yeah. Before I shoot it to my other ship over there, I wanted to say this earlier. I really like going to soul food spots because I don't really cook it in my house. I try to stay fit and healthy and all that kind of stuff, but I love it. It's what I grew up on. But I'm tired of going to places and spending $29 on one fish fillet and some mac and cheese. I do need people to make the prices a little bit more economical if you want my business. But I mean, that's just being real. I understand you got to pay for it. You do want to support businesses. I feel that way about a lot of small businesses, and being a financial type of guy that I am, I know there's a lot that goes into it, but I don't know. I just wanted to put that out
there.
That's
some LA prices right there. I'll be damned.
That's true. It probably is.
That's that bougie ass catfish y'all got out there.
That is true. That is true. It still be $5, but that's probably what it is. I'm speaking with different colored glasses right now.
Yeah. I do have a question for Kev Comatose. Brother, can you kind of explain what your business is and what you provide to the community?
Yeah, so the business that I'm in right now is actually a social enterprise. It's actually a nonprofit called Better Family Life Minnesota, and it's an extension of the existing organization Better Family Life that's headquartered in St. Louis. We actually got tapped to extend Better Family Life to the Twin Cities in 2020, so I guess you could say it's a pandemic baby as well. And ultimately what Better Family Life is a holistic community development corporation that really focuses on engaging with the community through other institutions and other organizers and providing families with the solutions that they need to come out of generational curses. I think as a community, there are several things that hold us back, and there are 3 particular areas that we focus on. That's education, or lessening the education gap, as wealth development and wealth development activities, as well as family services, which really encompasses both human services and then recreational activities that families need to grow and bond together. And so it's headed by myself as the chair of the board and the CVO, and then we have 6 other board members. And it's been an opportunity for me to make impact here in the Twin Cities community, to give myself access to tables and conversations I wouldn't have as a for-profit entity. So, and most of my background has been, or my previous businesses were in go-to-market advising, so helping businesses develop sales strategies, marketing strategies, customer service strategies. And, this has been the one thing that has, in a sense, given me alignment in my purpose. So I find myself more grounded in it, giving more of myself, giving more of my resources, and just going the extra mile than what I would have with my previous enterprises. So
Nice. All good stuff. Look at y'all helping the community.
Yeah, sort of, kind of, you know what I'm saying? The big black bald man telling us how to get money as family, I don't know.
Well, it's better than trusting a patchy beard motherfucker. So.
Hey, let me tell y'all something about me and Kev, man. As y'all, he my rock too, man. This man protected me a lot, a lot. While we were on this journey, man. But one thing I can say about Kev, man, he's always been a go-getter. He's always been that dude that's had his eyes on the bigger picture, so to speak. I mean, from the moment that we left McKendree, I remember he lived above me in the apartment above me, and he would be having these types of conversations with me back then, and to see what he's doing now in the Twin Cities and to see how it's all kind of come to fruition for him, man. If I've never told you this, man, I'm proud of you, man. Because I know what you've been through, my brother. You know what I mean? I've seen some of the things, and to see, the types of things that you've been able to put your hands on, and the blessings that you've gotten from those things, man. I ain't nothing but God, man. And I definitely I can say I'm definitely proud of you, man. It's been awesome to watch.
Love you, brother.
And he's always been a big black nigga.
Always a grizzly of a nigga, boy, I tell you.
Man, imagine this man with a fro, with a black t-shirt on, black jeans, and black force. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, real quick.
Bad Black Force energy.
Yeah. I just want to say this real quick. Also, like piggybacking what you said, because as I stated, that's my dean. My dean, my AD. But as my dean, there was a lot of things and I've seen this as people are building their businesses, is isolation at times. And that was something that I learned from him. Like literally my name was something, affliction was what he named me. And there's a lot that goes behind that. But with that being said, there was a lot of times that I saw him even in the midst of a lot of stuff that was going on. And I was watching like close up and from a distance. He isolated himself from some things. So it did throw off the path that he's going. I think that's been crucial in a lot of people that I see who's had successful businesses, is isolating themselves from those people that technically you would think these are the people who need to be in your corner as you are coming up, or who you want to be able to share some of this with. And maybe one day you can, but as you're growing, having that wisdom and level of discernment to isolate yourself from something. I just want to say that's something that I definitely also learned, from Undine. And yeah.
Hey man, that was a page out of the good book, man. Because when you look at Christ, a lot of times he had to take those moments to step away, right? To step away from the crowds, to reconnect himself with the Father, to be in tune with himself, to slow down, right? Because it can be heavy demand, But I appreciate you, brothers. Man, you all have always been a foundation for me to stand back on when I fall down. So I love you all, and I appreciate you, man.
Salute.
Love is mutual.
Love you, bro.
Hey, true to himself too. Come on straight. As soon as he saw me, start joning again. So he true to himself too. I respect that.
as he should. Congrats, brother. What you got up there, man? And I know you've been out here with this Unacceptable Behavior Network and doing big things. I know I've been blessed to be a part of your journey on this, and I know you got other things that you're working on, man. What's your thoughts on the state of the industry?
Yeah, I just think, the entertainment industry is something that's very difficult to break into. I'll just say that. In the sense of of what we're trying to do with the Unacceptable Behavior Network is to provide a real life application into what we're not the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're not we're not the Kardashians. You know what I mean? And being able to provide insight into how normal people think and how we react to certain things, and talk about things that not necessarily that you see on a day-to-day basis. That's just something that I prided myself on, and providing an outlet for those of us that have something to say. You know, whether that be, and Unacceptable Behavior is not just podcasts, it's music, it's comedy, it's a multitude of different things, where we could come out and say, hey, we are here, we have something to say, and you should pay attention, honestly. And from there, we'll see where it goes, man. I love watching what Diddy has done with Revolt. I love watching what Joe Budden has done with his Joe Budden Network. I saw a need, and I kept watching stuff that was happening on TV. Right around the birth of what happened to Mr. George Floyd. I was like, I got something to say about that, and I didn't like what was some of the other narratives that were being pushed, and I was like, no, let me say something, and that's when we started talking behind the mic. So it's been an amazing experience.
Nice. No, it's been good to watch the journey. I know there's more to go. Richie, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, because when we were talking about just stepping out of, everybody comes from different communities.
Richie, you ball too, man.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
You outnumbered, brother. You outnumbered.
Yeah, you outnumbered. Did you miss that? I had to take this off, man, so that the energy can continue to fill this space right now.
Man, I'm about to take off my hat, show y'all brothers what it's like to have hair.
No, but you got a receiving hairline, so that means you need to let it go.
I ain't never had no, the hairline's strong, brother. That's the one thing that is strong.
And I can get a hair full of hair. I can get a hair full of hair in 3 weeks, so that ain't no problem for me. This is an option.
Back of the head
this is not a necessity.
That hairline's strong,
Nah, bro. I guarantee you was on the line. You was on the line.
Now you got to pull up.
You gotta receive it by now.
Man,
hey man, I'm gonna have to rebuke that one, because I was on there as well, and my hairline and hair game is strong.
I think it's just me, because I was the captain. I had to bear all the stress.
But go ahead.
Yeah. But so Richie, we were all rolling around some of the same streets a little bit, but I know you come from the streets, just speaking it bluntly. And where you've gotten to right now, I know there's it could have been a whole different path. And a lot of times people want to use their upbringing as either a motivator or something that really holds them back. And I just kind of wanted to circle back with you to see if you wanted to just elaborate on that. And just how do you see, one thing is we're kind of getting ready to close things down, passing that wisdom on to other people. And I know you're doing that. I know you're doing that in KC, and I'm pretty sure you're back at home, talking to people and everything like that. But, while we're on the air, what is something you just want to pass on to people of not letting something hold you back? Because I know there's still trials and, triumphs and everything that's all wrapped into it, but just want to hear your voices on that.
Yeah, I don't like to dive too much on past, man, because I always look forward to the future. But my thing, I like to drop gems, and one gem, because my business is an affirmation platform. We give affirmations to people that come to our platform so that they can live and be their healthier self. So that's what I'm talking out before I come in. And so the gem I want to leave to the community right now is to be aware is to have strength, right? When you're aware of your past, you're aware of all the things that you come from, you can rise above and you can continue to reach new heights. And that's simply an affirmation, man, that I live by when I started this program. So I want to give that affirmation to you, brothers, and everybody beyond you, that you're not defined by the mistakes you made when you were 16, 17 years old. I'm not defined by that little dude that had the little twisties in the head, gold teeth in the mouth, snatching people money, beating people up just because I knew I could. I'm not defined by that guy anymore. And so now that I'm aware of that, and I'm totally not defined by my mom being on drugs and I was a crack baby. I'm not defined by those things anymore, man. So I use this as purpose, man. And so another gem is, Right now, brother, everything that we're doing is on purpose, and I want it to be with purpose. Okay? So thank y'all, man, for real, just allowing me to be in this space. I would love to get you guys out, man, to a bourbon and boxing series one day, man. I would love to even bring a bourbon and boxing series to your city.
That's real. That's real. No, I like the sound of that, and that's some real words, and I appreciate you sharing that.
Bro.
Yeah, I know. Well, we were just talking on our last episode of I still owe my ship a decanter.
Yeah.
With his B on it.
Yeah.
I got you.
Sound like we need to take a ship trip out to KC, man.
Let's do it, bro. Y'all gonna have a place to stay. Y'all gonna have, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot for you to do here, man. KC is where
family out there too, for real.
Oh yeah, come on out, bro. But before you come, bro, you gotta go ball. You got to, bro.
Even just take the guards off the clipper, bro. You ain't even gotta go ball all the way. Just take the guards off.
Listen, I'm trying to debate if I'm trying to grow it out at this stage. I ain't trying to go the other way.
If you get in the beard, bro, go ball. I'm telling you.
Or you know what? Better yet, just go ahead and do the Ryan O'Neal, man. Just just bring it all the way. Just get the press. Straight 70s Noopy.
Look, that's when you know it's real, right? When you can shave it off and it come back.
I'm not taking that chance. I'm almost 40. I'm almost 40. Like I'm scared if I shave it off. It might not. There's certain spaces that I know wouldn't come back. I'm like, let's just go ahead and grow this out.
Go ahead and get the Cat Williams, man. Go ahead and get the Cat Williams. Grow it out. You can rock.
That one was a lie. That one was a lie.
Affliction. I'm gonna take a different angle with this one. We don't have any businesses that we own. We've talked about investments and getting properties and just continue to expound differently as we amass our wealth. But what is something that you aspire to do in the future, and what are some of those principles that you need to carry forward with you, and that you would even want to pass on to other folks to be able to sustain some level of success, whatever that looks like?
So, number one is, like, in my family, as most of y'all know, Jew is my brother. Seductive, but one of the things is
we didn't know that.
Y'all didn't know that? Hey, I mean, I thought y'all would tell by the bald head. But anyways, by those who if maybe this is your first time watching, one thing that our father has and still does, he says iron sharpens iron. And that's biblical, it's a proverb. And with that being said, that's the principle that I live by. And in our pastor preached today, Strong Tower in Fredericksburg, Virginia. She talked about choices, and it's talking about building our house on faith. And one of the things she says, you have a choice you can make every day. And that's the principle in which that I use. I want to, get into owning properties, as well as continue to help my spouse build her business, and, eventually just have full financial freedom and just flexibility to do whatever that I want to do at any point in time. But with all that being said, I do that by surrounding myself around people, as I stated earlier, exposing myself to different things that I'm not comfortable with. And in addition to that, surrounding myself around good people who are going to sharpen me, just because of the fact that they're not going to let me stay comfortable. They're going to always call me on my stuff, but also have that, maturity and that discernment to understand where they may need to pull back and let me, kind of like grow in some areas. So that's my vision that I have. Put yourself around good people that is going to always sharpen you, because they are moving forward, they are doing things, and they make you feel a little uncomfortable, not in a bad way, but in a way that pushes you. And the last thing is that every day you wake up, you have a choice. You choose to when people say to me, be blessed. That's a choice you have. You have a choice to be blessed, even if things are going crazy, because God's already given that to you. So hey, stay around sharp people and make the right choices.
Proverbs 27:17 for those that don't know that proverb.
Amen.
All right, Pastor.
Version.
Right.
James version, all that.
Preaching over here, right? Comatose. Something you want to pass on to the people, brother?
That's a good question. Maybe this is a selfish plug, but there is strength in family. I think we live in a day and age where the relationship between man and woman is extremely strained. There's struggles within the household. Nobody knows the most successful ways to raise children and rear children, things of that nature, and we're all afflicted by the circumstances our families are in. But family is a vehicle for advancement. Not only do you have the opportunity to develop character, but you have the opportunity to build life, sustain life, and advance life. And there's something in all three of those practices that cultivates the soul to a particular point of, dare I say, enlightenment. So the gem I want to put out there is, if you have family, whether that be family you were born into, appreciate them, forgive, forget, accept who they are not, and just sow into your families. If you have a family that you are the head of the household over, forgive yourself for past mistakes. Forgive your woman for her mistakes. Forgive your children for being little assholes and gremlins. And, accept them and sow to them. As leaders of households, is very imperative that we remain servant-minded, right? Because when you look at the definition of husband, I mean, that is the rearing of livestock. And what a shepherd does with his flock is he gives his life, he serves his flock. So that's one gem I would give. And just, not to be, overly cliche with Christian beatitudes, but seek first the kingdom of God. And what I mean by that is, there are principles and laws out here that govern existence. Study them, find them out, research them, apply them to your life, because they truly make your path straight. They won't make the path easy, but they make the path straight. So yeah, and sip your bourbon and finger some pussy. That's what it is.
And if you have those issues, you have those stresses in your life, just go to boxoutstress.com, man, and we'll help you work them out.
There you go. There you go.
That's a plug.
There you go. Hey, you got to get that plug out there while you can. Caress.
This episode will not be sponsored. I guarantee you that one.
The one gem that I would have that just to try. Let's not be afraid to go out there and do great things, man. The only blockers that you have in your life is you. Go out there, step out on faith, the mustard seed of faith, and do what God has intended for you to do. Just try it out, and don't be afraid to fail, because through those failures, you're learning lessons, and then you're gonna gain knowledge. So that would be the one gem. Just try it out.
Oh, and not trying is an unacceptable behavior.
Yes, it is.
Network plug.
Yep, and not a good unacceptable behavior. So one thing I was going to circle back with you brothers on is just pretty much asking, we all went through some form of a process to bring us into Newport, and to see how that instilled some of the values and the beliefs of how you actually execute in the day. But I think throughout that process, you all have hit on all those different aspects. And one of those biggest aspects is achievement in every field of human endeavor. And I've seen you brothers, known all you brothers for a long time, and I've seen you striving in every field of human endeavor. And as Comatose hit on a little bit, just keep on challenging yourselves, moving forward. Caress said, try. Richie said, don't be defined by your past. And then Affliction, pretty much said, just go be better every single day. I'm just pretty much leave it right there. You said what?
Quit. Don't quit.
Don't quit. Don't quit. Exactly. Strive to be better. Achievement in every field of human endeavor. That's what I seen y'all brothers doing. That's what we doing. That's why we here. Close it out saying appreciate everybody for supporting. Check out these brothers. Check out, Box Out. Check out everything that Comatose is doing in the Twin Cities. Look these brothers up. See what they got going on. Continue to follow the Unacceptable Behavior Network. This message needs to get out to a lot of different people. There's a lot of people that are dealing with certain things, different levels of stress, different ways of trying to get out there to even just try, that they won't do just because they don't have that motivation, and they are sitting in isolation, but they're not moving forward in isolation. Share it with somebody that might just need to hear a word of encouragement. But we appreciate everybody supporting. I appreciate you brothers coming on. It was great having you there. A lot of intellect and knowledge and wisdom that you pass on to the people and the viewers today. So appreciate you. I'll give them a mini round of applause.
Ooh, Caress, hey, Caress, get at me, bro. I need a shirt, man. I need a shirt. I need a box out shirt made by you, bro.
I got you, bro. You shoot me your logo and what you want on there. I got you. I'll have Drew start a group chat because I need some information from y'all anyway.
All right.
Yes, look at that. Black excellence. We got to support Black businesses and support you. My businesses are coming soon. Holler at me in 10 years when I get this pension. Appreciate everybody. That's another episode of In the Cut. We out.
Yo.
Didn't wanna be an alpha, definitely not Omega Sci-Fi. Didn't even look at a 5PC, and I'll tell you the reason why. My daddy was a Kappa, my mama was an AKA. They said, son, if you pledge anything, Kappa is the only way. And I'm talking about